Aaron Glenn obviously spent a long time in New Orleans. How much Dennis Allen influence do you see in how they run their defense?
Yeah, you can definitely tell there's some principles of that defense. I'm sure they've been talking at some point this week. You can also see the influence, I want to say, that Aubrey Pleasant, the DB coach, has had on the defense. And I think this is a physical group that is going to, they're going to give us everything they got, no doubt about it.
How much are you looking forward to a full Lambeau for the first time in a long time?
Oh, that's exciting. I think our guys we will feel that energy, we will feel that enthusiasm. And so I'd ask our fans to be extremely loud when we're on defense.
So Matt, is the extra day, was it a good thing this week to have the extra day, or are the guys just that much more anxious, eager to get out there and play?
Yeah, I don't think the extra day plays too much a part in it. I mean, we're going to play when they tell us and where they tell us to play, so, and who they tell us to play. So certainly you always make adjustments for that within your schedule, but as far as the impact on a game, I think it has minimal because it's the same for both teams.
How's Lucas Patrick's progress been this week?
It's been good. He was out there today practicing, and that's just part of the protocol, and we'll see how he responds, post-practice.
Matt, how have you seen Rashan Gary step up as a leader of that defense, especially now with Z going to be out for a couple weeks?
Well, Rashan definitely brings a lot of energy and a lot of juice on every time we step out on that field, and I think he's still a young player, but he's got his own way of leading, and that is he's a lead by example type of guy. I mean, he puts in the work, he gives great effort. You can always feel his energy each and every day, and we're lucky to have a guy like that.
What's that like, having a young player like that, exuding such confidence and almost veteran experience, even though he hasn't been in the league this long?
Yeah, I think it's great. You're always looking for that when you're going through the process, and we draft a guy like that. That's exactly what you want to add to your football team, to your locker room, and like I said, we're fortunate to have him.
Regarding home field atmosphere, I once heard Pete Carroll asked, why did he know so much about the halftime rapper that was performing? He says, because I want to know what kind of mood the crowd's going to be in the third quarter. So, but how much of that do you pay attention to for your pregame routine, in-game, scoreboards, that kind of thing, for your home atmosphere?
Yeah, I think it's incredibly important when you talk about everything that goes into it. I know, like, pregame, the music that's being played is important for our players because that brings a certain level of energy to it. I think within the game, the more that our people can help get our fans involved in the game, I think it's plays a bigger role than probably most people would even think about.
What's the biggest difference in preparing for golf instead of Stafford, as far as kind of game planning and when you watch the film?
Well, I don't even think you can compare the two in terms of it's a totally different regime. It's a new head coach, it's a new GM, it's a new coordinator, so there's just a different philosophy. So I don't even want to get into the comparisons because I think they're both great in their own right.
Now, have it varied? I know it's, like you said, different systems, but has that helped a little bit because he's had the last 4 years with them, or is it kind of just all, like you said, it really doesn't matter?
Yeah, no, you're talking about a different coordinator there with Anthony Lynn. I'm sure there's different philosophies in terms of what's important to each individual coach. I know how it is even within our staff. So, I don't put a whole lot of thought into that.
Always next man up, but how does Za'Darius being out kind of speed up the need to develop Garvin and all these guys, maybe faster than was originally planned?
Yeah, it's hard to replace a guy like that. You're talking about one of the premier rushers in the National Football League, so certainly anytime you lose that is a big loss, but ultimately we have to do it within the collective effort of everybody out there, and it starts with making sure that everybody understands what we're trying to accomplish, and the communication that it takes to go out there and perform at a high level. So I think everybody has to pick up their play in order to, just overtake what we're going to miss from him.
And How is Hamilton assimilating so far?
I think he's done a nice job. You know, he's only been here a short time, but, you know, just from the limited that we've seen in practice, he's done a great job out there.
Hey, Matt, who tells Zadarius that he's going on IR? Is that you? Is that Mike Smith? Whose purview is that?
No, that would be Goody. Goody let him know, and certainly we're all involved with the conversations. I talked to Z after, you know, we told him, and, you know, he understands. And I mean, nobody's happy about it, but it is what it is. We need to try to get him back because he's such an impact player.
Do you get the sense that after this is over, did he give you the indication that he will be all in once he returns?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's been all in. It's just hard to be all in when you're not practicing. I mean, I think he wants to be out there with his teammates. Shoot, he stepped in during the Jets week when we were just supposed to go through individual, and next thing you know, we look up and Z's in the huddle. So, like, he wants to be out there, and I know I've got confidence that, you know, our guys are pushing him not only in the training room but in the weight room as well in terms of whatever he can get done. And, you know, like I said, he's such a valuable player on this football team.
So he played 18 snaps in Jacksonville, I think. Preston played 38, and maybe Rashan played 37 out of the 62. Obviously, it was really hot there.
Mhm.
What's kind of your target percentage-wise of playing Rashan and Preston out of your, like, you want to play them a lot, or would you like to still try and rotate those young guys in without Zadarius and Fix?
I think it's all on how the game's going. You know, if we're out there for 15 play drives, it's hard to play a guy for all those 15s because they're going to be gassed. If you're getting 3 and outs or you know, you're just out on the field for a few plays, it's easier to play those guys a lot longer. You know, how much time is there in between each possession? Are we having long drives on offense, or, you know, is it just a short time in between? So I think all of that factors into how much each guy plays, but certainly you'd like to have, you know, your starters out there as much as possible.
Are you expecting any more Eric Stokes in the rotation this week in this week's game?
Do you want me to give you the game plan? You're just going to have to wait.